This is the Food and Nutrition Research Institute, one of the research and development institutes of the Department of Science and Technology. The FNRI has gone a long way since it started. From the Institute of Nutrition created on July 1, 1947, to the Food and Nutrition Research Center under the National Science and Development Board or NSDB in 1958, to the Food and Nutrition Research Institute by virtue of Presidential Decree 733 in 1975. Under Executive Order 128, the FNRI is mandated to perform the following functions: define the citizenry's nutritional status, develop recommendations for the improvement of nutritional status, and disseminate research findings and recommendations. The FNRI is headed by a director and is assisted by a deputy director. The Institute has 4 major programs, supported by an administrative and finance division and a secretariat. Responding to the current issues both locally and internationally, the Institute pursues its major programs and projects under the FNRI investment portfolio. The Nutrition Assessment and Monitoring Program oversees the conduct of the periodic nutrition surveys. The surveys are conducted throughout the country to assess food intake of the population and to determine the types and magnitude of nutrition problems and their causes. The surveys include anthropometry, biochemical, clinical, dietary, nutrition economics and statistics, food security, government program participation, and health. In 2008, the FNRI undertook the most comprehensive national survey covering components that have not been taken in the previous surveys, such as additional biochemical nutrition indicators, genomics, survey of health supplement use in the National Capital Region, among others. The persistent problem of macro and micronutrient malnutrition identified in the NNS serve as basis for the formulation of policies and intervention programs. Among these are the school feeding programs of various government and non-government organizations to address protein-energy malnutrition and healthy lifestyle programs to address lifestyle-related diseases. The NNS data also led to corresponding nutrition interventions and policies like Republic Act 8172 or the National Salt Iodization Law or ASIN Law, Republic Act 8976 or the Philippine Food Fortification Act of the year 2000, and Strategic Implementation Guide of Micronutrient Supplementation and feeding programs like the Araw ng Sangkap Pinoy and Garantisadong Pambata of the Department of Health. Under the Nutrition Science and Technology program are medical nutrition studies that define malnutrition and nutrition-related diseases and their physical and functional effects. Projects involving development and updating of methods of diagnosis and treatment, prevention, and control of diseases are undertaken. Nutritional biochemistry studies are done to establish normal nutrient levels and enzyme activities for Filipinos to derive nutrient requirements for maintenance, growth, pregnancy and lactation, and to determine nutrient bioavailability and interrelationships of food in diets. Moreover, development and evaluation of models, systems, delivery schemes, strategies and guidelines for nutrition interventions and policies are conducted. Establishment of weight and height standards for Filipinos and other anthropometric and medical nutrition-related standards and tools, including proxy indicators, were developed by the FNRI for use by nutrition, medical, and health professionals and advocates. The Food Science and Technology Program includes nutritious food product development, process feasibility study, and technology transfer. The nutritious food products are developed and assessed in terms of nutritional value, packaging, and shelf life with economic returns for domestic and export markets. Process feasibility studies evaluate the technical and economic viability of laboratory-developed technologies or products in semi-commercial or pilot scale. The food composition, quality, and safety studies assess and plan food and nutritional management in the home and institutions, develop food guides and tools for dietary management and design, and test appropriate food management system models. To satisfy the demand for global harmonization of national FCTs and to meet data quality requirements of the guidelines set by the UNU's International Network on Food Data Systems or INFOODS on the generation and compilation of food composition data, the FNRI published the Philippine Food Composition Table in 1997, the first FCT harmonized with ASEAN foods in terms of format and content. The FNRI also established the Food Analytical Service Laboratory, or the FASL, the first government food testing laboratory, awarded the ISO IEC 17025 in 2002 by the Bureau of Product Standards Laboratory Accreditation Scheme of the Department of Trade and Industry. The FNRI's FASL now provides service on nutritional labeling and microbiological component. Today, the FNRI Food and Analytical Service Laboratory, manned with trained and competent staff and equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, is a world-class laboratory in nutrition labeling. The FNRI is the first local proficiency test provider on nutrition labeling component analysis in food based on international standards. Fortification and nutritious formulations were pursued to add value to commonly consumed food products and provide additional income and job opportunities for the food industry. The FNRI developed technologies for the commercialization of canned laing, noodles, and cooking oil fortified with vitamin A, various products fortified with iron and iodine, iodine-rich drinking water, and bakery products supplemented with squash. The FNRI developed, standardized, and piloted nutritious food formulations using indigenous low-cost sources to meet the needs of the growing population. These nutritious food formulations are used in various feeding programs in the country today. Nutritious recipes have been developed at the FNRI for the feeding programs of the elderly and specific consumer groups like the diabetics and the hypertensives. Under the Research Utilization Management Program, various dissemination and communication projects include the nutrition outreach and information dissemination, the organization of scientific fora and seminars, and conduct of lecture demonstrations, media conferences, and broadcast interviews, nutrition training, printing of information, education, and communication materials, and audiovisual production. and library information processing, networking, and documentation. The Institute is a partner agency to the Tests and Analysis Calibration Information System or TASIS and the Philippine eLive, two interagency websites of the government. Two websites were also built by the FNRI in partnership with other government agencies and private corporations. The eNutrition, which provides electronically accessible information on food consumption, nutrition, and health status, and the nutritionschool.ph, the first nutrition school on the web in the Philippines. The FNRI publish handbooks, manuals, and various printed materials for use by community nutrition workers and for general consumption, such as the dietary guidelines for the prevention of heart diseases and diabetes mellitus, nutritional guidelines for Filipinos, and the food exchange list for meal planning, among others. The FNRI started the conduct of the annual seminar series on food and nutrition researches in 1975 to disseminate results of its completed studies for each year. Today, the FNRI Seminar Series is an annual tradition looked forward to by the various stakeholders of the FNRI research and development studies. The Institute continued to establish, forge, and strengthen partnerships with foreign and local agencies, institutions, and individuals in implementing projects and activities on food fortification, analysis and safety, proficiency testing, intellectual property rights, food and nutrition in general, communication, and human resources. The FNRI also links with international organizations such as the United Nations Children's Fund, the World Health Organization, the Food and Agricultural Organization, Asian Development Bank, World Food Program, the World Bank, the International Life Sciences Institute, Fonterra Brands, and the International Atomic Energy Agency, among others. The FNRI's local linkages include the Department of Health, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Science and Technology, Department of Social Welfare and Development, the National Statistics Office, Nestle Philippines, the Coca-Cola Export Corporation, Unilever Philippines, Universal Robina, Robinsons Supermarket, Philippine Society for Endocrinology and Metabolism, and Wyeth Philippines, among others. The Administrative and Finance Division provides support services to R&D, conducts seminars on human resource management, career service considerations, and issues on public administration. In 2009, the FNRI successfully bagged the seal of a set of standards for quality management system accepted locally and internationally. The FNRI is committed to provide products and services in food and nutrition to both the government and the private sectors and other stakeholders with the highest standards of quality and reliability within its capabilities and resources according to customer requirements to meet their satisfaction. Furthermore, in 2009, the Institute upgraded its facilities and offered new services to cater to the expanding needs of its stakeholders and clients. This year, the FNRI will be implementing its new structure with each functional unit strengthened to facilitate faster services and more actively to respond to issues arising in the face of social and economic circumstances. These are just some of the major accomplishments worth remembering and the challenges that are to be taken into action. After more than 60 years of providing accurate nutrition information to the Filipino people, the FNRI will continuously conduct researches and provide S&T activities to respond to the call of helping improve the nutrition situation of the Filipino population.